Hi everyone, it's Danielle and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am going to be showing you how I made this triangular shawl. It is made in a popcorn inspired stitch with a pom-pom edging. This one is beginner friendly, so if you are interested in seeing this tutorial, keep watching and we'll get right into the video. For this project, I am using Bernat Cozy Style, and this is a 4-ply medium weight yarn. This ball of yarn has 1,015 yards. I don't think I'll need all of it. I will let you know how much I have left over, or in the description below how much the pattern, how much yards of yarn the pattern calls for. I will also be using my 5mm crochet hook, since that is the recommended size for this yarn. Alright, so let's begin. To begin, I'm going to start by making a loop, like so, and then chain 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I will slip stitch into the beginning chain to close and form a ring, like so. Alright, and now I will chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which will count as my first double crochet. Okay, and now I'm going to be working into the center of the ring, putting 2 double crochets into the center, like so. 1, 2. Alright, and with that initial chain 3, that's 3 stitches at this point. Okay, now you're going to chain 2. And into that center point again, I'm going to add 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And that completes row 1. So it's 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets, just like so. Now for row 2, chain 3, which again counts as our first stitch. Okay, and we will be increasing in both the first stitch and the last stitch in every round, and also the center. Okay, so in the very first stitch, since this chain 3 already counts as a stitch, in this first stitch we're just gonna put 1 more stitch. So that's 2 stitches so far, counting the chain 3. Alright, and now 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Then 1 in the chain 2 space, for a total of 5 stitches on this side. Okay, now we're going to chain 2 for the center and do the other side. So we start with a double crochet into the chain 2 space, then 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, which gives us a total of 3 stitches at this point, and on this side we have 5. So in the very last stitch we will put 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3 to give us a total of 5 stitches on this side of the chain 2. So at the end of row 2 we have 5 stitches on each side of the chain 2. Alright, now for row 3 we're going to start with a chain 3. This is going to be a lace row, so you will understand what I mean in a minute. Alright, so in that first stitch we are going to put 1 double crochet in the very first stitch, then chain 1, skip the next double crochet and put 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip the next one, 1 double crochet into the stitch before the chain 2 space in the center, then chain 1, 1 double crochet into the center chain 2 space, like so, which gives us 3 spaces on this side, 3 open spaces. Now you're going to chain 2 and repeat going on this side. So chain 2, 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space, then chain 1 and 1 double crochet in the very first stitch, then chain 1, skip the next double crochet and 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, which takes us to the last 2 double crochets, well, the double crochet and the chain 3 space over here. So we're going to skip the next double crochet and put 2 double crochet into the top of that chain 3 to complete this row. So at the end of row 3, this is what we have. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the center space. So you should have 7 open spaces if you count the center space. Okay, and then for row 4, you're going to start with a chain 3, then 1 double crochet in that very first stitch, then 1 double crochet in each stitch and chain 1 space. So 1 in the chain 1, 1 in the next double crochet, 1 double crochet in the chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, 1 in the chain 1, 1 in the next double crochet, then 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space at the center, then chain 2. Okay, so on this side we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches. So you know on this side we will also have 10. So after the chain 2, you're going to put 1 more double crochet into that center space, then 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, 1 in the chain 1 space, 1 in the next double crochet, and then we are up to the chain 3, which we will put 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3 to complete row 4. So at the end of row 4, this is what we have. So you should have 10 double crochets on this side, 10 double crochets on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and now for row 5. For row 5, it is going to be our puff stitch row. So I'll try to go as slow as possible. So row 5, chain 1, turn. In that very first stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochets. Okay, then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Then into the very next stitch is where we're going to put our puff stitch, and it's going to be a front post puff stitch. So you yarn over like this, enter the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, yarn over again, go under the stitch a second time, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up. Now we have 5 loops on our hook, wrap the yarn around the hook, go under the stitch a third time, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up. Now you have 7 loops on your hook. You're gonna wrap the yarn, pull through 6 of the 7 loops like so, then wrap the yarn around the hook, pull through the last 2 like so. And I will show you that again. So after the puff stitch, we're gonna work 3 single crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then into the next stitch is where our next puff stitch is going to go. So you wrap your yarn around your hook like so, enter the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch a second time, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, wrap the yarn around your hook, go under the stitch a third time, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all but the last 2 loops like so, hook the yarn, pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, and now 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, then 1 in the chain 2 space, then chain 2, and we'll repeat that on this side. So 1 single crochet into the chain 2 space, then we had 2 stitches before our puff, so we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Then we're going to work our puff stitch into the third. So wrap your yarn around your hook like so, go under the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook, go under the stitch for a third time, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, and you should have 7 loops on your hook. You're going to hook the yarn, pull through 6 of the loops, then hook the yarn and pull through the last 2. Now on this side, after our first puff stitch on this side, we have 1, 2, 3 single crochets, then our next puff. So you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 2 and 3. And then our next one will be our front post puff stitch. So wrap the yarn around the hook like so, go under the stitch like so, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook like so, go under the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. So with 7 loops on your hook, you're going to hook the yarn, pull through 6 of those loops, leaving 2, then wrap the yarn and pull through the last 2 loops. Now you should have 3 stitches remaining. On this side you had 3, so 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and just like over here where we started with 2 single crochets into the first stitch, we're going to end with 2 single crochets into the last stitch, and that is it for row 5. Okay, and at this point we are going to start repeating. Okay, so moving on, we are going to go back and start repeating from row 2. All right, so we will start with a chain 3 as normal, 1, 2, 3, and row 2 was this solid row right here. So we're gonna put in that very first stitch 1 double crochet, and then we're gonna put 1 double crochet in each stitch across. So this row is pretty easy, just 1 double crochet. I'm pretty popular today. Okay. All right, so 1 double crochet in the top of every stitch across. All right, and then when you get to the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet and a chain 2. Okay, so on this side of the chain 2, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 stitches. So on this side, I should also have 14. So in that same chain 2 space, I'll put 1 double crochet, then 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way across, and 2 double crochets into the final stitch for a total of 14 stitches. because you want to make sure everything is even on both sides. Because if you have more stitches on one side than the other, then it throws off the pattern. So you want to make sure the pattern, you have an even amount of stitches. So 2 into the very last stitch. So on this side of the chain 2, I should also have 14 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and after row 2, which is a solid row, comes row 3, which is this open row with the lace row. So you will chain 3. Okay, and then turn. In that very first stitch, you're putting 1 double crochet, then chain 1, skip the very next stitch, then 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, and then this one right before the chain 2 space, we will skip that and put 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space. So on this side of the chain 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. Okay, so now we will chain 2, put 1 double crochet in that same chain 2 space, then chain 1. On this side, we skipped the very last stitch before the chain 2, so on this side we will do the same. So we'll skip that stitch and put our double crochet in the next one, like so. Then chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, and then 2 double crochets into the last chain 2 space of the previous row. So on this side of the chain 2, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open spaces, then the center, then 7 open spaces on the other side. And as you can see, our triangle is getting bigger. So with each row, your shawl will start to grow. Okay, and then for the next row, we will chain 3, turn, 1 double crochet in the very first stitch, 1 double crochet into the next, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Basically, we're putting 1 double crochet in each stitch and each chain space all the way across, well, up to the chain 2 space, where we will do what we've been doing before. All right, so just 1 double crochet in each stitch, just like so. Then in the chain 2 space, you put 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, which is, this is what we have. So on this side of the chain 2, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 stitches. So on this side of the chain 2, you will also have 18 stitches. So go ahead and finish this side. It is 1 double crochet in each stitch and each chain 1 space all the way across, then 2 double crochets into that final stitch to complete the row. And as long as you have the same amount of stitches on this side as you do on that side, then you are in the clear. All right, so go ahead and finish this row, and I will show you our puff stitch row again. when I come back. Okay, so this is going to be row 9. So chain 1, turn, and in that first stitch we're going to put 2 single crochets, then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Then we will do our front post puff stitch in the next. Okay, so you wrap your yarn around your hook like so, enter the stitch from the front like so, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch a second time, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook a third time, enter the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, and you should have 7 loops on your hook. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You wrap the yarn and pull through 6 of those loops. Then hook the yarn again and pull through the last 2. And that's your front post puff stitch. Now 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then that takes us to our next puff stitch. So wrap the yarn around the hook like so, enter the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, enter the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook a third time, enter this, go under the stitch like so, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 6 of your 7 loops, then hook the yarn and pull through the last 2. All right, now 3 single crochets in each of the next 3 stitches. Well, 1 in each of the next 3 for a total of 3 single crochets. That takes us to our next puff stitch. Okay, so wrap the yarn around the hook like so. Go under the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. So we're doing that 3 times. So with 7 loops on your hook, you hook the yarn, pull through 6 of the 7 loops, like so, then hook the yarn and pull through the last 2. Now 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 3. That takes us to our next puff stitch. So again, wrap the yarn around the hook like so, enter the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch a second time, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go under the stitch a third time, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 6 of your 7 loops, then hook the yarn and pull through the last 2. Okay, and that takes us to these last 2 stitches. You're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, then 1 single crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and 1 single crochet, like so. All right, so on this side we have 1, 2, 3, 4 puff stitches. So on this side, you know you will have 4. So doing this side, you will be mimicking what's on this side, going in this direction. So we had 1, 2 before the chain 2 space, so you know you put 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, then do the puff stitch. Whoops. Front post puff stitch. Okay, and then your 3 single crochets into each of the next 3 stitches, then another front post puff stitch, and you're going under that double crochet 3 times, then 3 single crochet, then that takes us to another puff stitch, And it's a front post puff stitch. And another 3 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. I keep saying 3 single crochets. 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. Then another front post puff stitch. And then that takes us to the last 3 stitches. So 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then 2 single crochet into the last chain 3 space, like so. And that completes row 9. Okay, so moving on, you will be repeating from this row. So it's 9, 8, 7, 6. So from row 6 to 9. So the next row is going to be this solid row. So you're going to chain 3, then put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in each of the next stitch up to the chain 2 space, where you'll put 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, then 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way over to the end here, where you will end with 2 double crochets. Okay, then after that will come this lace row. Then after the lace row will be 1 more solid row. Then after that comes another puff row. And you'll just keep repeating those 4 rows. Is it 4 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, those 4 rows over and over again until you have the desired width of your shawl. So I am not sure how much I am going to be doing, but I will keep going and I will show you what my finished shawl looks like when I am done. All right, I'll see you at that point. So this is my completed shawl. From the top down, it measures a total of 32 inches. And then from side to side, it measures 64 inches. Okay, so I have ended on one of these solid rows. And then I'm just going to show you how I would add a pom-pom edging to this. Alright guys, to begin the pom-pom edging, I'm going to start by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in that second stitch from the hook, I'm going to put my first pom-pom. So wrap the yarn around the hook like so, go into that stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops, leaving 2 on the hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook again, go into the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook, go into that stitch a third time, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, pull through 2 loops, leaving 4 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn around the hook again, go into the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops. Now you have 5 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn, pull through all 5 loops. Now chain 2, 1 and 2, and you will be working your next pom-pom right into that first space. So wrap the yarn around the hook like so, go into the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go into the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops, wrap the yarn around the hook again, go into the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops, leaving 4 loops on the hook, wrap the yarn around the hook, go into the stitch again, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through 2 loops, leaving 5 loops on the hook, hook the yarn, pull through all 5 loops. Now you will slip stitch at the bottom down here into that same 5th chain. So slip stitch to complete the pom-pom like so. And now you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. skip 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and single crochet to anchor it. So that's the first pom-pom done. It's up to you how far apart you want your pom-poms. I'm going to work 4 single crochets between each. So that's 3 and 4. Okay. And now I'll make my next pom-pom in the 5th. So chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In that 5th stitch, I'll work my first puff stitch. So just like this. And you're doing this 4 times with 5 loops remaining on your hook. And then you would hook the yarn and pull through all 5 loops, chain 2, and work your puff stitch into that first space. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. Hook the yarn, pull through all the loops. Now fold it in 2 and slip stitch in the base of the first puff stitch or into that 5th chain space. Then chain 4, 3, 4. Skip 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, skip 3 spaces and into the 4th one, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the next 4. And then in the 5th one is where you will start your next pom-pom stitch. All right, so far I have 2. That's basically what they look like. So I am going to go ahead and complete the entire bottom section of my shawl, adding my popcorn edging. And then that will basically be it for this project. So I'll show you what my finished product looks like once I have completed my border. Guys, so I have completely gone around the bottom part of my shawl with the pom-pom border. And this is what it looks like. I'm sorry I can't get the whole thing in the frame, but you get the idea. All right, and it's totally up to you if you want to go with a different style of edging. Well, there's other borders you could choose, but this is basically what mine looks like. All right, and that is pretty much it for this project. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Bye.